1% male. And so there is a lot of sexism, and there is a lot of both meaning sexism and also casual sexism, because they don't ever really need to think about it. And I experienced so many situations where I realized that I was letting people bully me. I wasn't being aggressive enough. I was folding too much because I'd internalized so many gender stereotypes. And when I realized that, that wasn't very pleasant. I realized, wow, you're folding cards because you don't want conflict. You don't want them to not like you. You want them to think you're nice. And so I would just fold. I'd say, here, take the pot. I don't want to fight. It's all good.
You would do that? Really?
I would do that. Yes, at the beginning. And I didn't realize I was doing it, but I was. I was so unsure of myself that all of these hang-ups ended up coming out. And I didn't think I had those hang-ups. I've studied gender biases. I've written about this. I know the literature, and I was positive that I didn't have any of this internalized, but I did. And so I ended up having to work on it and realize, wow, you're doing this. This is not good. This is preventing you from making good decisions, because instead of thinking clearly, you're letting all of these things get to you. You're letting them win. And so I had to learn to flip it on its head and say, okay, you see me as a woman. You don't see me as a poker player. So how do you see women? How are you going to play against a girl? And that differed from person to person. But if I could figure that out, then I could adjust the way that I played and actually be aggressive in the right spots at the right time and do what I was doing before, be more passive, but for a reason. Not because I didn't want conflict, but because I realized that that was the best way to beat someone. If people underestimate you, that can be incredibly powerful, because you can take advantage of their underestimation by pulling off stuff that they just don't think you're capable of, because they say, oh, she's just a girl, she can't do that.
Do you still want to be liked by the players?
Sure, but I can do that by being friendly and nice.
And hard-nosed, right?
Exactly.
Let me just quickly reintroduce you. That's Maria Konnikova. We are talking about poker, something that she learned to play after a tough year. And it's a fascinating book that she's written called The Biggest Bluff, How I Learned to Pay Attention, Master Myself, and Win. She's a regular contributing writer for The New Yorker. She actually has a PhD in psychology at Columbia University and has written books about con men and about deception. So all of this kind of fits together rather neatly. And again, you can join us Radio Times at WHYY.org. You can tweet us at WHYY Radio Times. And you can pick up the phone and give us a call at 1-888-477-9499. So there is a role of luck. There's certainly a role of skill, and a skill you get over time. But I also get this very strong impression from you. There's also homework. I mean, there's a lot of preparation. Maybe that's unique to you, but a lot of preparation that goes into being a good player. And I'd like to just talk about that. So generally speaking, as we think about if poker is like life, how we can transfer some of that to some of our life skills.
Absolutely. Yes, there's a lot of preparation. A lot of people look at poker just like a lot of people look at writing and say, oh, that's easy. Anyone can do it. You can sit at the table and, play cards and win money, and I know how to write, so I can write a book. That's easy. That's an outsider's view, and I think people underestimate just how much preparation is involved in actually playing well and doing well at what you do. And so that's one of the reasons that I said at the beginning, even before I knew whether or not I'd be good, before I knew how long this would take or any of it, this was at the very start of the journey. I said, I have to go on leave from the New Yorker. I can't be writing at the same time. I have to treat this like a full-time job. And I did. So 7 days a week, I would work for, depending on the day, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. I'd be either playing or studying. When I studied, I wasn't just looking at a video or reading a book. I was doing what's called active learning. So if a video was a half an hour long, it would often take me an hour or 2 hours to watch, because every time I didn't understand something, I would stop, I'd rewind, I'd write down questions, I'd take notes. And same with all of the books. I would take notes in the margins, I'd ask questions so that I could later review them with my coach. You need to really immerse yourself in the material as opposed to just letting it be passive. Learning doesn't work passively. Sure, you'll retain some things, but it's going to be much more powerful if you're actually actively involved and thinking through things and critically thinking through things and constantly asking yourself, do I really understand this, or do I just think I understand this?